Hey everyone, welcome to FilterGrade. My name is Mason, and today I'll be talking through and showing examples of some of the lessons I've learned about editing live streams so that you can make better and more entertaining edits from your live streams or from someone else's streams that you've been tasked with editing. Most traditional video editing is based on a shot list, and the basic rough cut of an edit comes together in a somewhat straightforward way. You select the best take of each scene or line and arrange them in a rough order, and then you have a basic outline to start editing from. Even vlogs or some other less structured type of YouTube video usually has a fairly clear storyline. But when you're making a short YouTube video with highlights from a Twitch stream, there is no shot list. You're stuck with a video recording anywhere from 2 hours to 8 hours or even more, and are given free rein to craft whatever story you like, and that story might not be obvious. So why make highlight videos? If you're a streamer on Twitch, YouTube, or another platform, you may want to diversify your current portfolio of content by creating YouTube videos out of your awesome streams. This is a great way to reach a wider audience that may not be attending your streams, and it lets you immortalize your best moments in an easy-to-consume video. Unfortunately, when you're streaming as a full-time job, every day, it's hard to find the time to make YouTube videos, so you hire an editor. That editor, however, gets stuck with the previously mentioned long video to sift through, and that's what this video is all about. Alright, now let's get into some of the best practices. For my examples today, I'll be using clips from a streamer I edit for who goes by Gemballs or just Jace. I've been editing for him for a while, and all of these lessons show up frequently while I'm editing his videos, and shout out to him for letting me use his content in this video to show off all of these examples. Separate the best sections. As you scrub through your timeline, use the razor tool to cut off approximate clips you want to use. As you do this, drag the video layer up to track 2. Then, when you've gone all the way through the stream recording, just select all of the clips on track 2, create a new sequence, copy those clips into the new sequence, and delete all the space in between them. Now you'll have a rough cut full of your best clips, and you can start trimming down to the good stuff and rearranging footage. Watch at double speed. If you really don't want to miss anything and insist on watching the entire stream recording, then do yourself a favor and watch the stream at double speed. In Premiere Pro, you can watch your timeline at double speed by pressing the L key. Double speed should still be easy enough to understand what is being said in the video, although triple speed will likely be a challenge. Needless to say, this greatly speeds up all of my edits when I'm working with hours and hours of video. If your computer is having a hard time playing back such a large file at double speed, you can pre-render the footage on your timeline before doing this. Set markers for good clips. So this one might not always be possible, but it's been one of the biggest helps to me as an editor. Jace uses this tool that lets him add markers to the footage during his streams, plus it adds markers each time a viewer makes a clip during the stream. This means in many cases I can just go to the project file and jump to each marker, and I'll have 90% of the footage I need for the entire video. There are a number of tools out there that do this. Twitch actually has one built in, which lets you type /marker into the chat to mark the current timestamp. This command can also be mapped to a stream deck. There's even tools to import these markers into Premiere Pro. Of course, all of this is dependent on the streamer or a moderator remembering to set markers during the stream. If someone is doing this, it can save the editor a lot of time, but it does take effort. Create a storyline. Now that you have your best clips set aside, identify what the main story of this video is going to be. Likely through your selection of clips, you found some sort of trend or commonality among them. Perhaps the streamer made similar mistakes in the game they were playing, maybe there was a joke or reference that appeared multiple times during the stream, or maybe there was a goal during the stream that had various milestones throughout. Whatever it is, a story of some kind can likely be pulled out of any live stream. This story is how you not only keep viewers entertained, but also how you can help a live stream feel more like a scripted YouTube video. You'll likely have multiple smaller stories to support this big story. Here's an example from a video I edited. In this video, Jace the streamer and the other streamers who are with him were playing Surgeon Simulator 2, but the main story was not their progression through the game. Instead, it revolved around the banter they were having. There was an ongoing joke throughout the stream of Jace, the streamer, and Snut, one of the other content creators, mocking Josh, the other streamer, who has a few million YouTube subscribers. This was something I could connect the dots with throughout the video, and show that the game was progressing without really focusing on what they were doing in the game.
That's not how you Everyone's having a great old time except for Grace. Yep.
Oh no, that doesn't go there. Seems like I'm stuck on this. Yep. Oh no, it's glitching. Typical me.
But then there were several secondary stories I pulled from. One of these was funny accents. In the first cut, this section took up a good portion of the video, but it became clear that the joke just wasn't funny enough to be deserving of that much screen time, so it became a secondary story that supported the first one. Other secondary stories included playing the game badly, talking about YouTube, and everything ultimately ended up revolving around the primary story instead of focusing on one of these secondary ones.
Alright, let's start easy. Do you have a German accent?
Yeah, I do. Howdy, partner!
Once you've identified your primary story, you can seek out supporting footage that you didn't grab during your first pass and add these clips to your project timeline. Sometimes this extra context helps a lot. Identify a beginning and end. It can often be difficult to find a good beginning and end to a stream highlight video. In general, there should be something usable from the introduction to the stream and at the end of the stream, but you don't want the video to necessarily feel like a stream.
Today, guys, we're gonna be making some fish and chips, right?
Not every YouTube video needs to end with the streamer talking about how great the stream was and saying goodbye to their chat.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Oh, I forgot to start the raid. I'm gonna wait like 10 seconds now. Bye. It's that awkward moment when you say goodbye to someone, but you're walking the same direction and you're like, haha.
The intro should briefly touch on what the goals for the day are, so there is some introduction to what the video is going to be about. This should be brief, but you'll probably need to heavily cut up this portion to get to the point as fast as possible. The ending can be a little more freeform. End on some satisfying conclusion to the goal that's set up in the intro, or on something funny.
Guys, I think it just fucking worked. Did we do it? No issues? Power? Oh my god, look at this power, you guys. Look at this fucking power. This fucking power.
You can also end with the streamer wrapping up the stream, but this really depends on what sort of mood you're going for in the video. As long as you don't end abruptly with unresolved storylines, you can take a lot of creative liberty with the ending. The vast majority of viewers won't even make it to the ending anyways, as unfortunate as that is to admit. Cut aggressively. Usually when I edit live stream videos, I end up with a much longer rough cut than I actually need. I may have 20 minutes of footage that I really like, but I need to cut that down even further, maybe to an 8 or 12 minute final video. And it can be hard to do this. Your impulse may be to just keep it all, because it's all fantastic. But even if that's true, the final product can always be a tighter concentration of entertaining moments. With at least a rough story in mind, cut out some of the clips that don't support that story. Some of the first to go are one-off scenes that don't have much to do with the rest of the video, but may be entertaining on their own. These can be great clips, but they don't add to the story of this video. If you need to make even more aggressive cuts, identify a secondary story that just isn't as good as the rest, and remove it completely. As I mentioned above, my Surgeon Simulator 2 highlight video had a much longer accent storyline in the first cut, and I cut it down only to the bare essentials and the absolute funniest accents out of all the ones that they did. At first, I liked this storyline, but it became clear that while it was funny, it just wasn't good enough to be the focus and was too repetitive. Aggressive cutting can feel bad because you know you want to include as much great content as you can, but creating a final video with a higher density of high quality content is often going to be better than a longer video with a lot of subpar moments. Zooming and cropping. Usually streams aren't known for a wide variety of camera angles. The streamer is often sitting in front of the camera in the same way the entire time, and if they're playing a game, it's the same story. To spice up the YouTube video, make liberal use of cropping, zooming, and animation. This can include comedic zooms on the streamer's face during funny moments or reactions. It can be cropping in on something notable happening in the game, or cropping in on someone's character in the game when they talk in real life to indicate who is speaking. Simple edits like these will make the video infinitely better than not doing it. It's also a way to hide cuts and make a scene appear to be continuous, even though you cut out maybe 5 seconds of footage between two cuts. I like to zoom in on the streamer's webcam view when they're talking about something unrelated to what's happening on the rest of the screen. The game in this case is just extra information that might confuse the viewer and draw their attention. I also might only zoom in on a sentence that I wanted to draw viewer attention to. The zoom signifies that this is a more important line than the previous one, and you should pay attention to it. Memes and references. Utilizing memes, references, and sound effects are a difficult balance. When used sparingly, they can add a lot of extra interest to something that was said or done in the video, but it only really works if the streamer you're editing for actually knows memes, or it might feel disingenuous. If it doesn't match their personality, don't put it in the video. Likewise, too many memes can make it feel like you're trying just too hard to be relatable. A handful of relatable memes can bring a fun angle to most videos, and add a healthy dose of relatable comedy. Subtitles. Subtitles can accentuate important moments, but they can also help viewers to understand something not completely intelligible from the stream. With game sounds, other people talking, and alerts, it doesn't take much for the streamer to get drowned out at times. It can also be helpful in a video with multiple people, so the viewer can easily see who is talking. In this video I edited where the streamer was playing games with 3 other people, this was super critical. I used a different color for each person so that the viewer could differentiate between them, especially since 2 of the streamers had similar accents that maybe not every casual viewer would be able to tell the difference between. Subtitles are super useful, but you don't need to subtitle the entire video, just certain moments where you know it'll help.
Okay, I got the lever. What is it doing?
Let me
Lever.
leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Lever. Oh my god, I can't hold the lever. Oh, here we go.
Trim the fat. Once your edit is effectively finalized, you're actually far from done. While live streams are long and tend to have a lot of dead space, there's no reason that your YouTube video needs to be the same. Run through your final edit and find places to make cuts. Chances are there are more than you expect. If there are any unimportant moments between 2 good ones, consider cutting that dead space. Getting rid of that space will keep the action going and keep up the pace of the video. You want to keep the attention of your viewers, and trimming off the extra bits will be really helpful. It's also important to remember that if done right, only you as the editor will notice the missing footage. With creative cuts and zooms, the viewer will probably never even notice. You'll probably have a lot of harsh jump cuts, but as I said, with some clever cuts and zooms, the viewer won't notice. I find it useful to do multiple passes of this step and get a little more brutal with my trimming each time until the video is super dense. Extra spice. Once you're done trimming, you should do one last run through to see if there are any areas that can be improved. Clever zooms, memes, or sound effects can spice up a video, and it's important to use these. Your video should have some sort of interrupt or some sort of movement every few seconds. This keeps viewers engaged. If more than 5 seconds goes by in a clip without any sort of change, consider if there is a way to make it more interesting with some sort of visual or auditory interruption. Thanks so much for watching this FilterGrade video. If you're a video editor working for a streamer, or a streamer looking to craft their own YouTube content, then I hope you found some of these tips useful. Let me know if you have any tips of your own and how you edit your videos. Make sure to like and subscribe for more video editing tutorials, and stay tuned for our future content. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And if you're looking for professional LUTs, Lightroom desktop and mobile presets, Premiere Pro templates, and more photo and video education, visit FilterGrade.com today.